Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally. I'm so glad you joined me to see what I will do with 3 wooden items using 3 different mediums. And we are going to start with this beautiful little basket. Now, this basket was, I believe, free at the Good Table at my dump. My daughter brought it home, but it could be that I picked it up at Goodwill bins. I always forget which is which, but if I did, it would have been about $1. So some child had started to draw something on the top of it in pencil, and I love the color of the basket, actually, just the way that it is. So I decided I am simply going to paint the wooden top of this basket in this beautiful blush pink, and this is a latex paint that I happen to have in my stash. I tend to pick these up at Home Depot. They're about $5 or $6. They are, I believe, a Behr brand of paint, and they make great samples. They also last a long time. I can get so many projects out of one little thing, and they have great coverage. So I am going to start with the pink, and then I am going to be using an IOD paint inlay. If I were going to be using a different medium, 1 coat would be sufficient. But with a paint inlay, you do need to put a second coat of paint or a coat of either a poly primer or some kind of polyurethane or a clear coat, something that the paint inlay can stick to while it is wet. So since I have my paint out, I'm just going to go ahead quickly put a second coat. I'm going to water that down just a little bit. And while that paint is still wet, I am going to just spritz the paint side of the inlay and lay the paint inlay right into the wet paint. And you do have a couple of minutes to go ahead and shift that around and get that exactly how you want it. It does not adhere immediately, so you definitely have a little time to get that straight. And then once you do, you are going to want to wet it, kind of pushing it down into the paint just a little bit. And before I peel it off, today's What Would You Make for the month of May is hosted every month by Christine and by Brenda. And this month they have Aurea as their guest host. Their channels and a playlist will be in my description box, so check out what they all made out of wood this month. Now, once this is pushed down into the paint, I like to just take a little wet paper towel to make sure that I didn't miss, especially if there's any small letters or numbers or any little bits and pieces. I want to make sure that's good and adhered. So making sure that is wet is the best thing. Now let it fully dry. You can use a heat gun or you can just leave it alone for an hour. Let it fully dry. And then once you can see that it is pretty opaque white, you can come back with your mister and reactivate the back side, get that wet again with a wet paper towel, and start to peel back. And here I notice it's pulling a little hard. So I'm gonna give it just another couple spritz of water because you do want it to come off, fairly easily. Let that get a little bit moistened up and then just peel that back. I love to peel it sideways. I don't know if it makes any difference whatsoever, but I just love to watch how beautiful this paint inlay adheres to the paint. Now you can put that aside and use that again. The next time it won't be quite so crisp and vibrant. It'll look a bit more vintage, but it is usable too, and even sometimes 3 times. I'll be honest, I hardly ever use them again because I have so many of them. But once that is fully dry, I'm going to come back with just a clear coat and I'm going to coat over that. You could spray poly on it. You could wax this, but you do want to wait until it has fully cured. So a good several hours to make sure you're not going to smear that paint inlay on your project. And then usually you know that I would add a dark wax or I would do something a little more vintage, but today I am going to leave it as it is. And my granddaughter's playroom has a lot of this pretty blush pink in it, so I decided to put it in there and just display that with a few of the little tea party items and a little sign that I have made out of that blush pink in the past. So hopefully if you have a nice wooden element, you can get a hold of a little piece of paint inlay and give it a try. Second item today is going to be, in my opinion, a hideous picture. I love the blue frame. I hate the picture that is in it. I'm sorry whoever made it, but I just do not like it at all. It is a canvas, and I'm imagining, is reproduced or, mass produced anyway. So I am going to start by coating the outside edge because I want to keep the wood frame just the way that it is. It is the perfect blue color for my project, and I actually love the distressing and the color tone on it, but I want to cover over this entire thing. Now I'm using a white chalk paint, so a little spritz here and there to make that a little bit looser will help that to glide over the existing canvas. And then I am going to come back actually and paint that with a second coat. So once that is fully dry, the second medium I'm going to use today is an IOD transfer. Now this absolutely gorgeous book of IOD transfers I have had since spring and I love, but there's so many bits and pieces in it. I have so many projects that I can make. I've already made at least 4 or 5 projects, and I have so much of it left over. So I wanted to go in and pick out some of the transfers that already had a hint of blue in it and had more pink than red. I know some of them have the red tones, but for the room that I'm going to be putting it in, I would like it to have more in the pinks. So I started with those beautiful corner swags with the birds on top, and then I found that there was another piece that would actually fit perfect on the bottom of that to extend the swag. And so I absolutely love these transfers. I think they're so beautiful, and I'm going to go ahead and rub those down with the stick that comes with the IOD, and then burnish that with the little piece of plastic that it comes with so that those will stick. And they stick very easily to paint. If you polyurethane it or spray coat it and let it dry a day, it sticks easily, very, very easily. In this case, I just, since it's canvas, knew that it would stick very easily. So I just gave that a couple of hours to dry, and then added the swags to the bottom, and then went through a couple of different elements for the center, and I loved all of them. I settled for a wreath with a butterfly. I kind of wish that I had gone into my traditional pots and used maybe just some vintage wording here for the center. I think that would have been more my style. I can always paint over the center and do something different with it if this is just a little too much floral for me. But for now, I think that it did look lovely, and I'm going to coat the whole thing with that clear coat again, just to protect the paint and the inlay. And that is how it turned out. I think that it is absolutely beautiful, very spring, very summer. And so make sure you hit like, subscribe, share, hype, all the things if you are enjoying this. And look how lovely it looks with my new free blue hutch I love, or sideboard. That is just absolutely gorgeous. Taking me on to my third project, which is just a piece of wood that you can get at any craft store. And I am going to use my third medium, which will be a decoupage, either a napkin or decoupage paper here. So I am just looking at the stash that I have. I have quite a few, to see which one I might like to use. Now, I love so many of these, but I have used them in projects before, so I was trying to do one of the napkins or one of the decoupage papers that I had not done in the past. So I did go through them all, and some are fall and some are other seasons. So I narrowed this down to the 3 that I thought would be the best for this shape wood And then I decided on which of these three I thought would be best. Let me know if you would have chosen differently. So I decided to go ahead with the birds and went ahead and cut that napkin to the size that I'm going to need. And then you do, when you decoupage, only use the top layer. This is a 3-ply napkin, so I did have to peel away the bottom white 2 layers and only use the top layer with the print on it. I could decoupage that directly on the wood, but it did have some lettering. Again, some child had written on that. So I wanted to make sure that was definitely covered. White will really make the white popkin color pop right off, or a very light color. I just happen to have just a little bit of this gray in my stash, a taupey gray, and I decided that that would be a good enough neutral color to go underneath. So I just gave that one good coat and let that fully dry. And then once that was dry, there's 2 ways that you can decoupage. You can go ahead and put the decoupage medium, or really, quite frankly, you can even just use school glue here, but I'm using that Mod Podge because I had plenty of it in my stash. And while the Mod Podge is still wet, you can lay the napkin right in that and then coat over it, or you can let the Mod Podge dry, and then when you lay down your napkin, you can use a heat source like a small iron and iron that on. I probably should have done that with this particular one. I think perhaps I would have gotten less wrinkling, but I did just decide to take a little, Ziploc bag, and Saran wrap works too, and just kind of press down on that to make sure it doesn't get too many rips in it and too many, bubbles or wrinkles. And then you can also either let it dry and put a coat of Mod Podge over the top, or you can just put a Mod Podge very carefully over the top. But you do risk tearing the napkin, so you have to be very gentle with that. And then just let that fully dry. Now, I lost some of the footage, but I did just take my sanding block, go around once that was fully dry, and take off any of the excess napkin, sanding that back. And then I pulled out this ink. I have 3 little boxes that I got on the good table at my dump that somebody had just dropped off. I'm not sure they've ever used them. And so I went through to see what color ink might have looked good for a little bit of a distressing. And I also pulled out 4 wine corks. Many years ago, someone dropped off about 100 wine corks at my dump, and I grabbed the whole bag, and I just keep them as a decorative element in a basket, and I use them here and there when I want to use them for feet on little risers like this. So I just glued those on, took that green ink, went around the outside edges on that, could use antiquing ink, could use waxes, antique wax, whatever you like. And that is all I did on this sweet little summertime riser with the little birds on it. And I think that's very, very easy, and anyone can do this. So if you happen to have a block of wood and a couple of little feet that you could, and a napkin or a piece of decoupage, go ahead, give it a try. It's so easy and so sweet. So here it is here in my living room, and I really like it on my coffee table with some of the gray tones. So I would love to know which is your favorite. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.